All right, welcome back. We're going to go take these birds out for a toss. I've got 2 rings here, so I'm going to run 2 rings this time, see how we go. Hopefully the batteries are charged enough on them. So we'll head out there. Got me trusty little homemade coffee. We'll cruise out, get these birds for a bit of a fly. So let's get over there now. So we've hit about the 20-kilometre mark. I'm going to try and get them cruising out this way. Obviously I've taken them over here. Just over here there's a boat ramp and I've dropped them off there, which is 20 k's. And my house is pretty much directly this way. So it'd be interesting to see if they do go across this little bit of water. It's only a small bit. And obviously through there is the grain terminals and all the industrial area, and that is absolutely thick with wild pigeons. So it's a bit of a test for them to see if they want to come home or they want to hang around there. But we've got 2 rings, we're going to put them on them. The birds are just having a bit of a break at the moment, and then once they're sort of settled we'll let them out. But this will be a little interesting test, especially with the GPS tracking ring. We'll be able to see sort of, you know, do they follow the land back around this way, or do they just cut straight across? And once they get through this sort of hot spot of wild pigeons, you know, do they hang around with those birds, or do they just point their head straight and go home? Interesting to see. Good little test. So let's get them up in the air. Alright, so I found a nice little open spot on the beach. No rain, very little wind, straight route home. The last bit I filmed was just there on that little point. I've been sitting here, and now we'll let them out because the data logger is starting to track, and let's see what sort of results we get when we get home. So good luck. That way, that's where we want to go. Hopefully they get home pretty quick, because they have done this before, but just a little bit more that way. Alright, they've already taken off by the time I got back to the car and put the basket in here, so let's get home and see if they can beat me. Fingers crossed they do. No one's home yet. Look, got a little bit of rain on the way home. Hopefully that doesn't worry them. Hopefully they'll turn up soon. There's my birds, but there's one there. I was going to say there's a few less, but they're coming in. Obviously that wasn't long enough for them, that flight. There's our tracking ring, right there. I'll get these rings off them. Come on. Not you again, magpie. Come on. Got one back in with a ring, and the other one's still sitting on the roof. I don't think it wants to come in. No, that's not you. That's not even my bird. It's got a blue ring on it, that one, see? That's not mine. It's maybe a race bird or something. It's a beautiful looking pigeon. It's a pity we can't see it. So at this point there's 9 back. We're missing Champ and Cheeky by the looks of it, so hopefully they come back soon. We might just grab that ring off and we'll see what the data's like. Hopefully those other 2 come back soon. Alright, so we've only got 1 ring back at the moment. The other one's on Champ. She's still missing in action. Her and Cheeky somewhere. Hopefully they turn up later. If they do, we'll get the ring and we'll see where they've been. So fingers crossed, but we've got some interesting results. Last time I took them out here, let them go here, and this time here's a little beach that we let them go on just here before. And I was actually hoping that they were going to take a bit of a shortcut, go straight across here and head down towards the loft, but what they did is they followed that little bit of a peninsula back in, got quite a bit disorientated through here. They done quite a few laps and continued back to the actual freeway, which I've been saying from day one, as a lot of the guys that are racing, so they do seem to follow the freeway quite often, and then they've started heading south on a bit of a line. Interesting thing, they cut back across here. I have released them from this point exactly here before, so it's interesting they've cut back onto there and then they've come down, followed the freeway down and pretty much sort of cut back up here, and then they've pretty much gone a straight back line back to my house, which is down here. So it was interesting. I think does it say, yeah, the actual straight distance was 23 kilometers and they done 66 kilometers in total, so they a little bit further going out this way. So it's interesting, very interesting. See if I can get some other information here. I'm just going to draw that data onto here, which now we're in Taiwan. That's where this comes from. Let's see if this one actually draws on there. Let's have a bit of a look. Okay, so there it is. We want to draw this one. It's going to give us a bit more information. Alright, let's go back to that. This goes through their speed and their altitude, so they were, hitting a bit of speed there. I think their very top speed was probably about 1600 meters a minute, if that's what that is. That's very interesting, and hopefully we can get a bit more information out of here. Still the same time, so we'll leave it at that. It's quite interesting where they went. They lost a lot of time here, and definitely not the most direct route, because they could have, I was hoping they were going to cut along here and that would have saved them a lot of time. But they went out, come down. So very interesting, because I didn't expect that at all, and I wouldn't have even known they'd done that without these little Sky Leader GPS rings. So super handy little tool. The reason I want to take these 2 routes, which is freeway and then also heading up the coast here, because depending on the wind, they're either going to come in along the ocean or they're going to be pushed in out through these hills here. So long as they can see that from up here it's quite high, so they'll know where they're going here, but once they're in town, I want to try and get them stick to the freeway and whatnot. So I think our next toss point, probably about 35 k's, which will probably be out this way. and then the next one will be on the other side of the river, so hopefully you'll get them a little bit more fluent in a straighter line. So maybe tomorrow we'll get them out for another test flight. Maybe we'll take them out to maybe 25, 35 Ks. This one here was about 20 Ks, 23 Ks, but they turned into a 66 kilometre adventure. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Super good, this thing. Sky Leader GPS. Great little tool. See you later.